Most men have sex demons in them. And when you get in a relationship with a man who has a sex demon in him, you begin to fight that demon spiritually in your own dreams, in your own life. And the easiest way for this demon to have access to you is by having sexual intercourse with a man who's already got a sex demon. When you have sexual intercourse with a man who's got a sex demon, that demon begins to fight against your soul. And the reason why I bring this up is that women have taken it upon themselves to fight battles that has nothing to do with them. And the church has also done a good job making women feel like it's their responsibility to fight and cast out this demon in their boyfriends and in their husband. And I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. When a man has a demon in him and you are aware that he's got some kind of demon in him, it's his job to fight that demon and cast that demon out of his own life with the help of God. Because if you help that man to cast that demon out, to fight the demons that's going on with him, and he's not even aware of those demons in his own life, he will do the same thing that he did in the beginning that caused the demon to be in his life. He'll do it again because he's not aware of that demon. He's not, like, he doesn't know how it came. He's not even aware of what it is because you've just been fighting it behind the scenes. And if you are a woman who is connected to God, a divine woman, a divine feminine woman, you know that getting with the wrong person could sabotage your whole life. When you get with a man who has a sex demon in him or who has any demon in him, he will begin to do things that are against your wish, against your destiny, and against your spiritual life. All of us have certain taboos in our lives because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And because we are spiritual beings, depending on who you are in the spirit, some of you are angels in the spirit, some of you you're different things in the spirit, and it's up to you to do your research and, you know, with the help of God, to find out who you are in the spirit and to know your taboos. If you get with a man who does have a demon in him, it's going to be problematic for you. Now, with that being said, if you do come across a man who does have a demon in him, or it could be that the demon's even in the whole family, okay? It could be that the demon's in the whole family and you are aware and you can see it. There's a way that you can kind of let the person know, but you cannot force it down their throat. And it's not your job to cast it out. They have to know what that thing is. They have to see it for themselves, and they have to be willing to work on it to make sure that that demon is out of that person's life, out of their own life. And this is why for certain women, especially divine feminine women, divine feminine souls, the reason why a lot of you have not been in a relationship for a long period of time is because God's really protecting you from all this type of things. And you don't see it as protection, but that is really what it is on a divine level. There are a lot of men out here who have dirty past, who have sex demons in them, demons in their family history that is moving from one man to another, to another, to another. And God is preserving and protecting you so that you don't suffer in this lifetime getting in a relationship with them. But if you are a woman who is what society called pick me, you're always focused on men, trying to fix men, trying to build men, this is where the problem lies. Because you would think, oh, you know what, why is my relationship always like falling apart? Why is it that I can't be in a relationship for too long? It's because of that invisible third party of a demon that's in the relationship. When a man has a demon in him and you get in a relationship with him, that demon will make sure that the relationship doesn't last. Even if the relationship did last, it will last with a whole bunch of problems. It will last with you doing a lot of work. It will last with you suffering in it. And eventually, it will either destroy you, destroy the relationship, and he would move on. And sometimes what you would notice is that when he does move on and he gets with someone else who may not be of divine, who may not be connected to God, when he gets with that person might not have the same bad experience as you did. And this is why it's so important as a divine feminine woman, as a woman who is connected to God, that you understand when God is protecting you and you're not trying to rebel against it. You're not trying to force things to happen. You're not trying to force a man to get with you. You're not trying to manipulate a man to get with you or look for tactics or look for tricks to win him over to your side. Because a lot of it is protection. A quick example, there's a woman I know who what society will call pick me, and she wanted this man. And you know, us women, sometimes when we want what we want, we know what to do, right? We know what to do. And so she used all her manipulation tactics. She did everything, you know, a woman would do in her power to make sure that she gets the man. Eventually, she got the man. And when she got the man, she wanted to get pregnant for this man. And so she had been praying to God, I want to get pregnant. She wants to get pregnant. She wants to get pregnant. She wants to get pregnant. And eventually, the pregnancy didn't come. So they have been together for over, I don't know, 5 years. There was no sound of a baby. And she kept pursuing it. You know, when people tell you that they're trying to get pregnant, you know, they're doing so many things to get pregnant. And at the time, there was no IVF. There was no surrogate. Like, it wasn't a popular thing. This was many years ago. And eventually, the baby came. When the baby came in a way that it was not, how do I say it? It was, the baby was not formed right. The baby was not formed right. Came with a whole bunch of challenges, disabilities, couldn't walk, couldn't talk, couldn't move, nothing. And I say this because no man is going to sit in front of a woman and say, oh, I've got a demon in me. A lot of times men don't even know because they're not created to God. They're not connected to God. They don't have a relationship with God. They're not connected to divine. They're not divine masculine men. And so the whole time that she was waiting to get pregnant, she didn't get pregnant. That was a time where God was like, if this baby comes through, it's going to be problematic. So God was making sure that she didn't get pregnant. But you know, when you rebel with God for so long, God's gonna leave you and just be like, okay, you know what? You can go do what you want to do. In the long run, you're going to know why I didn't want this to happen for you. And so there's a story of a young lady that I know who was pregnant for her boyfriend. And when she was pregnant, the doctor, when they did a scan, they realized that the baby she's about to give birth to would not be a human being. The baby will not be able to walk, talk. The baby won't be able to do anything with their hands. The baby won't be able to sit. They would have to carry that baby for the rest of their life. So basically, it wasn't really a human being. And so they had given her an option to either abort the baby now while she's pregnant, even though it's a bit risky, or if she gives birth to it, she will forever have to struggle to take care of the child. And so the man immediately was like, just get an abortion because this is not a human being anymore. It can't walk, it can't talk, it can't move, it can't sit, it can't move their hands. What's the point? But due to the girl's guilty conscience and, you know, her religious belief, she's like, no, she's just gonna keep it. She gave birth to it, and that baby is now a burden. A burden. It's not even a human being. It can't walk, it can't move, it can't talk, it can't eat, it can't do anything. It can't do anything. And so no man is going to sit in front of you and tell you, oh, he's got a demon in his life, or no, they're not. But when you are a divine feminine woman, when you are connected to God, God himself will show you what's in that man's life. And this is why patience is so important, and it's important that you do not become a desperado. What do I mean by desperado? Somebody who's desperate. Because when you're desperate for love, desperate for marriage, desperate for relationship, you won't be able to hear God right and see the things that he's trying to show you. Okay? But when you are calm, when you are still, when you're patient, God will be willing to show you what is going on. There are times in my life where I would come across a man and I'll tell God that, oh my gosh, I kind of like this guy, you know, I'd like to be in a relationship with him. And One of the things God showed me about this guy was that if I was to follow that guy, untimely death would happen. Somebody would die before their time. And so I knew that this was like a no zone area. I don't need to go any further. That was the end of the conversation. And this is the benefit of being connected to God. Being the divine feminine woman is a woman who hears from God. She's connected to God. God really protects her and reserves her and preserves her because she is valuable to society. She's valuable to the next generation of other women. She's valuable to the man that is also going to marry her. I don't want to see women. I hate women suffering. I hate when I see women suffer. This is why I do what I do. This is why I talk. This is why I give advice, because I don't like people suffering. I don't like to suffer. I don't like people suffering. But I find that a lot of times when people are suffering and struggling, it's lack of wisdom that is going on. Lack of wisdom, lack of knowledge, lack of relationship with God. That's usually, it's never really the money. Money is not the reason why people suffer a lot. It's usually wisdom, it's usually knowledge, and lack of relationship with God. And honestly, relationship with God is not something difficult. It's not hard work. It's the easiest thing that you could do. It's the easiest thing that you can do, but a lot of people don't want to because they feel like they have to follow all these rules and all these laws. But I'm here to remind you that wherever you live, you have to follow the law of the land. Because if you didn't follow the law of the land, you'd be behind closed, you would be in prison, right? So where I'm living in England, I have to follow the law of the land in England, right? That's why I don't go out there to steal. That's why I don't go out there to kill. That's why I don't go to my neighbor's house and rob, because that is the law of the land, right? And so with God is the same thing. God will show you and tell you things in the spirit not to do and what to do, all for your own benefit. That's what it's for. Some of you might think, oh, well, if most men have demons in them, then who's the person that God's going to have for me? Even if you come across a dude that had a demon in him, God would make sure that that demon is dealt with and casted out of that man's life before he comes to you. Because you getting married to someone is not the beginning of spiritual warfare. I know this is what the church will teach people, but you getting married to someone is not the beginning of spiritual warfare. You're getting married to enjoy companionship, to enjoy family, to enjoy having kids. Marriage is enjoyment. Yes, there's purpose. Yes, there's mission. Yes, there may be duty involved. But at the same time, you need to enjoy lovemaking, enjoy companionship, enjoy having children, enjoy having a spouse. Not complain, which is what 95% of people do these days. Complain about everything. Complain about their marriage, complain about their kids, complain about the home, complain. It's just complain. You can tell they're not enjoying. They're just enduring it. Fools me when I come across a lot of women in the church who constantly ask pastor to pray for their husband because their husband is battling with demons and all this other stuff, and yet the man is not even making any move to pray for himself. Now, don't get me wrong, when you do get in a relationship or you do get married, we are supposed to pray for our spouse, for our family, for everyone, right? But what annoys me is you praying for someone that is not willing to pray for themselves and they are a full-grown ass adult. That is something that would piss me off. I cannot be here praying for you as a full-grown ass adult about something bad in your life and you're not willing to pray for yourself. No, that is not how this works. Even God himself, if I tell God, oh God, change John for me because I want John, so I want you to change John for me. God's not changing John for my sake. God's going to change John for his own sake, which in return might be beneficial to me, but he's not going to do it. So if you're like, oh God, my boyfriend's name is, let's say your boyfriend's name is Peter and Peter is misbehaving and you're like, oh God, change Peter. I really like Peter, but if you could just take this character out of Peter. Those type of prayers is not going to be answered because Peter doesn't want to change. If Peter wants to change, then Peter is going to pray to God and change. And God will change Peter for his own sake rather than your own selfish desires. And that's how it works. And so before you start going on a mission to cast demons out of boyfriends that you're not supposed to be with, just know at the back of your mind that if that individual is not willing to stop their bad behavior, is not willing to deal with the demons in their own life, you're pretty much wasting your time. You're wasting your time and your energy and your strength, and you might as well put that into your work, into your creativity. At least you know you get money in return. So please remember, if you have been single for long, or you notice that men are not approaching you, and you have a relationship with God and you know you're a good person, it's not that you're a bad person, it's not like you're the worst person, and you're looking after yourself, and you know that you don't smell bad, and your smell is not chasing anybody away, I want you to see it as God is protecting you. You might not see it as protection right now, right? But the more you have a relationship with God, the more God will actually show you why he doesn't want you to proceed. I cannot tell you the amount of times that men will approach me, and the reason why I would have to turn them down is because God would have showed me something in the spirit to let me know that this ain't it. So another example, a guy who approached me while I was taking public transport, and in the beginning I just rejected, but he was really persistent, and he kept pursuing, and I just had a tiny thought, like just a tiny thought about maybe I might just give him a chance. And one of the things, like that same day, God just showed me that if you get with this type of guy, he's just going to take your glory away, and you're just going to look more ugly every single day. The longer you stay with him, the more ugly you're going to look with that man. And so I just didn't proceed. And that's the beautiful thing with relationship with God. Like, you don't have to stress, is it the one, is it not? Is no. A relationship with God will give you answers to that really quick. Really quick. And when you really have a relationship with God, and you are connected to God, and you are a divine feminine woman, any man that approaches you, the Lord will show you who he is in the spirit. The Lord will show you what he's doing behind closed doors. That's the power of the divine feminine woman. So that is it for this video. I hope this video has helped you. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.